Welcome to the Main Street Moments podcast. I'm Brian.
This is Kathy.
And this is a special report, and I'm not kidding. There's been a happening with one of the most beloved vloggers in the entire theme park vlogger world, and that is Justin Scard. And I want to give credit to a YouTube channel, The Louie B. The Louie B, and that's B like B-E-E, like a bee. Okay, The Louie B broke this story that we're going to talk about right now, and I'm really upset about this. And we're going to play a little bit of audio of Justin Scard in a moment, and you'll hear from Justin Scard himself what happened. But the Louie B somehow found out about this story. Justin Scard was assaulted at Disneyland. It was a verbal assault, but it was very threatening and very confrontational. And I saw the Louie B posted a story about this a couple of days ago, and I knew it was such a big story that more would come out. And then today, the Louie B on YouTube had a major update. And that's why we're doing this special report and special discussion of this incident, where the Louie B on YouTube, and we're going to put the links in the description of this podcast, okay? The Louie B on YouTube actually has video of the assault of Justin Scard.
You know what? It's so weird because the video, there happened to be a live streamer at Disneyland at the time, and they happened to film this while it was happening. It's kind of in the background, and Louie B saw this, and, you know, you can see, and they go over it with the footage and then kind of zoom in to see the confrontation. So that's interesting. Well, it was just a totally different live stream who happened to be there at the time, which is crazy. And thankfully,
they caught it, and it was a special ticketed event. It was Princess Night at Disneyland.
Do we have that at Disney World?
Not that I know of. And the confrontation of Justin Scard by these other two vloggers was on Main Street, USA, model. And, you know, to have this type of confrontation on Mr. Walt Disney's very own Main Street, right across from Walt Disney's own apartment, is really just disrespectful.
Especially with Justin. He's amazing.
Well, yeah, and they did this in the area. It looks to me kind of like not the hub of the park, but kind of where the flag is. Right at the beginning of Main Street, right in that circle area there. Yeah. And it is very upsetting. And, you know, out of all of the vloggers, listen, there's a lot of vloggers that are controversial. There are vloggers that people don't like. There's vloggers that have a lot of controversy around them. But out of all of the vloggers in the theme park world, Justin Scard, in my opinion, is the most beloved. Everyone loves Justin Scard. Yeah. I was lucky enough to meet him and Allie once at Epcot, and he's a great guy. She's great. They both have a lot of health problems, okay? And even with
he talks about that all the time.
And and he had a head injury a while back, and I thought we were going to lose him.
He couldn't go on rides for a while. It was really serious.
He couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
And Justin Scard, he has over 200,000 subscribers, over 260,000 subscribers. He should have close to 1 million.
Absolutely.
Justin Scard, he doesn't just do theme parks, but he is the original theme park vlogger.
He was the first Disney vlogger we started watching.
He was the first Disney
5
vlogger.
years ago. And the thing about Justin is, unlike most people that vlog, he grew up in Anaheim. He grew up across the street, literally from the park.
His grandparents had a house across the street.
Right. His grandparents had a house there. He grew up in that town. And somebody like that, it's very easy for them to have an ego because they are so familiar with the park and have such a connection that not many people have. But he has no ego, this guy. And you're right, he should have at least double his subs. So if you don't know of him, please subscribe. He does more than Disneyland, okay? He does do a lot of cool vlogs of other places. He's extremely creative. And like you said, very, very nice. I remember when Brian met him at Epcot.
Oh.
I was here, you were up there and for the Flower and Garden or something, and you called me up and you said, "Oh my gosh, I see Allie. That means Justin's here.
Yeah.
And you said, I got to meet this guy because he's like the first guy we started watching. We love him. And then you called me back and you're like, I see him. You went up to him and you were so excited. I was so jealous. I wasn't there to meet him too. And you said he was super nice. You got a picture with him and everything. And that was a big thrill, I know, for you to meet him. He's super nice. And for him to talk about what happened on a video, which is what Louis B posted, Justin made a video about this incident. It must have been really upsetting for him because he's not the kind of guy to throw shade or badmouth other people. So it must have really been traumatic.
So Justin Scard is the original theme park vlogger, the first vlogger to vlog. He started at Disneyland, but to vlog the Disney parks
I'd say that.
On a very regular basis. And this video I'm going to play for you now, I found this through the Louis B on YouTube, and this was the first video that came out, and Justin describes what happened. He's in that very fancy suite at the Disneyland Hotel.
The California Adventure, the California Hotel, California something.
You know, Justin Scard is very well connected. He knows a lot of the top people around Disney.
He does.
And this suite belongs to a celebrity. We're not exactly sure.
Well, somebody got the suite and gave him the night. That's happened before. To stay there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation on who the celebrity is.
Yeah,
but we don't know for sure. But anyway, okay, so let's not waste any more time. This is from the Louis B. This is Justin Scard, and this is right after the assault on him, and he came back to the hotel, and you can tell Justin Scard is pretty upset.
Yesterday, or 2 days ago, when I was at Princess Night, and that video is being edited, so that was what's going on yesterday, I almost got punched in the face. Some crazy drama going on in the world of Disney YouTubing, and there's a couple of people who've had problems with everybody else, except me. I stay out of all the drama, and they were like getting in my face, like, I heard you've been talking smack. Which never. So that was a pretty wild experience that I can't really elaborate on, or else I would be a smack talker, which I'm not. But it was pretty wild and crazy. So I'll just say this. I know that's such a tease, but I'll just say that not everybody on the internet is who you think they are. And even when they're being friendly to you in real life, oh, we're all buddies, we're all film stuff, whatever. Sometimes you're like, whoa. You're not the people that I thought you were at all in any way. And I was even saying, like, don't prove people right by making those. Like, you realize I could just tell security and get you thrown out? I'm not going to do that. I'm not that kind of person. But what are you doing? Me, of all people, who causes stuff happening that I can't even ever really tell the full story. Not on the internet, anyway. And not even to you, my quality friends, because it's just drama, and I stay out of it. And even when they're like, well, I'm making apologies afterwards, I'm like, that's fine. I'm not a grudge holder. I'm not going to hold it against you. Literally, someone tried to attack me almost in Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom. And I'm like, I'm going to let that one go. Mentally, cheek turned, but I only have two cheeks.
Okay. So, and you can tell he's upset. And he goes on a very long 10-minute rant about this. I've never heard Justin Scard say a negative thing about anyone or anything before.
Ever.
So the Louis B broke this a day or two ago. I saw this, and we didn't talk about it. We were going to wait till the weekend because we figured there'd be some developments. And then today, Louis B dropped a new video showing the actual confrontation on Main Street USA at Disneyland that you were talking about, that a live streamer caught.
Yeah. And
you can see who the other vloggers are.
Yeah, and Louis B pretty much lets you know who's in that video.
I'm really disappointed. I'm not going to say who they are because Louis B uncovered this. You can go to the Louis B and watch.
Right. And Justin kind of hints to them too.
Well, in the original video, video goes on for a while. He says two things that tell you who they are.
Right.
Okay. One, he says two people that have a problem with everybody. That's a big giveaway.
Couple. It's two
that's
bloggers.
That's a big giveaway.
Yeah.
And then later on in the video, much later on in the video, he says that they like to stay past
the close,
past park closing, which tells us that it's and then we saw the video today, and you guys go and watch the Louis B video.
Louis B's got the visuals,
and I got to tell you, okay, I've never met them, but I know them through their vlogs, and I like them. Until now, and
Justin says you never know a person through how they present themselves online.
People edit their videos.
Right.
And,
of course.
and when you edit your videos, you don't, a lot of stuff ends up on the cutting room floor. But the one thing that they have done in the past that upset me when this was first exposed I think this was exposed by the Louis B as well.
Louis B is on it.
Is the Best Life and Beyond. There's a rule at Disney, okay? If you are in queue for a ride, an attraction, or you sit down in a restaurant before closing, and it's only 1 minute before closing, you get to ride that ride or get to have that meal. And they go very late, right before closing.
Regularly. And
keep the staff working who have been working all day in the hot sun and got to work tomorrow. And I thought that was such a disrespectful thing to do to the cast members.
They like to have the park to themselves, I think is why they do it. They go, say the park closes at 11. They'll get there at like 5 to 11, sit down at a restaurant, and ordered like a full meal and be there for an hour and a half or so, stroll around, talk to people. And you're right, it's really disrespectful and inconsiderate.
Well, I got to tell you, this is a painful discussion we're having.
Yeah.
Because from what Louis B's first video was, with this Justin video, you could figure out who it probably was. But when I saw the video, I think anyone who knows Justin Scarred, if you heard that he did something or said something against you or upset you, you could. He seems to me, Justin Scarred, to be the kind of guy say, "Hey, Justin, someone told me I can't believe someone told me this. I can't believe it, but they told me you said this or you did this." Getting confrontational with Justin Scarred, to me, seems insane.
Well, and he even said that they quickly, after they verbally attacked him, and he said they almost felt like they were going to punch him. Like it was that bad.
I almost got punched out.
That they quickly realized they were mistaken. But by that time, the damage had already been done. There's just some things you can't take back. It is very scary when you're at Disney, of all places, which is supposed to be a happy, safe place.
Happiest place on earth.
And you're just strolling along, having a good time. And people people that are supposed to be friendly with you and colleagues, these are his peers. These are people that do the same job he does and should have a certain level of respect for what they do. And he got in his face, two people got in his face.
According to Justin Scarred.
According to him and the video. And it was so nasty, he said he almost got assaulted physically. And he was very shaken up by it. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments on this. It's pretty shocking, actually, to me.
Here
I'm pretty surprised.
Here's the thing, I don't understand where all this drama comes from. We on our last podcast, we were talking about Rick's Flicks versus the Pew 2.
Yeah.
And I understand there's a lot of competition between vloggers. And there's a lot of competition for views and everything like this. And so I understand that there's competition, and some people, and I do this for a living, so those views are money to them, and so I understand that kind of thing that gets involved, but I don't understand this backroom bickering that different vloggers are having with one another.
It might not have been about Disney at all. It might have been about something unrelated. There is a while back, there was a rumor they had a falling out with Adam the Woo over something that Louis B talked about a few months ago. Justin is good friends with Adam the Woo. In fact, he just did a video with Adam the Woo here in Florida. They're buds way back. And they go back when they were both in the music business in California. I mean, they go back a long time. And so I think it has to do with that. I think it has to do with their fallout with Adam the Woo. And, it's so high school to go up to somebody when you're in your 50s, okay, which this one person is.
Yes.
It is so ridiculous.
Not Justin, the other guy is in his 50s.
Justin's probably in his early 40s, but the other guy's older than us.
He's in his 50s, yeah.
To go up to somebody in their face and be like, I heard you said this, that is so high school. That's middle school. That I just can't believe how immature. And to confront somebody in a public place like that where Justin goes regular. Everybody knows him there. He's been going there since he was a kid. He's like Drake Bell. I mean, Drake Bell's there all the time.
It's not like Drake
No,
Bell.
I don't mean in that regard.
Drake Bell's got his own drama.
I mean, he's at Disneyland all the time.
He's a celebrity.
A celebrity,
He's a
exactly.
celebrity.
And Drake Bell goes to Disneyland all the time. Everybody talks
still?
about him. Oh, yeah. Everybody talks about him being there. But to have somebody who's so recognizable at Disneyland by the cast members, by other people at the park, the guests, he wears that hat. They know who he is out there. They confronted him publicly, I believe, on purpose, to purposely humiliate him and shame him in front of people that watch his channel. I mean, I think, you know what I mean? Why would they do that in public like that? Why not call him on the phone? That's just a lack of self-control. Brian and I have opinions about vloggers, and we've said things, but we've never taken it to a level where I believe, where it's gotten so nasty, or I just think we're honest, but we would never, ever, ever go up and confront anybody. I mean, we'd be lunatics if we did that. I mean, you go up to somebody at a park in public and say, I don't like this.
Well,
that's crazy.
When I saw the video of the confrontation that the Louis B released on YouTube today, that's why we said we got to talk about this. And what you said's right, Kathy. This part of the park is probably the busiest part of the park because everyone has to walk by this part of Main Street, coming and going. And Justin Scard is probably one of the most recognized people that's a regular park goer to Disneyland. And to have a confrontation with him in front of all these guests,
and workers, cast members,
that does damage to his reputation. Like, people are like, oh, what's up with Justin Scard's? What is going on? I thought he was he's nothing like he is in his videos on YouTube. It really does damage to him. And I don't really, I don't appreciate that someone would do that.
Well, I think it's doing more damage to the other people now.
Now. But at the moment, people, listen, there's no way that there weren't a few dozen people that walked by and knew that was Justin Scard that's in this argument.
Right.
And are people
He's
thinking,
very recognizable. And he was in his uniform, his hat and his
He has his Random Land hat on.
Yeah.
And he stands out. And when I saw him at the park, I saw him a mile away. He's got the Random Land hat on.
Exactly.
And it's Justin Scard.
Sure.
Yeah. And, the thing about Justin Scard.
I'm glad Allie wasn't there. I don't think she wasn't in the video.
Thankfully.
Because that might have been really, I don't know. But she was with him in the hotel when he talked about it. So maybe she was there off to the side. She probably was there, just a little, maybe not right in that vicinity.
Well, you guys can let us know in the comments what you think. And we do have in the description of this episode on YouTube the links to the Louis B. So if you click on those links to the Louis B, you can watch the videos and see everything for yourself and decide for yourself what happened here and what you think about it. And I've only met Justin Scard once. He doesn't know who I am from Adam, okay? But I've been watching him on YouTube so long, I feel like I know him. And I take it personally when someone does something to hurt Justin Scard. And, this video that he made was for his Patreon supporters, I believe.
Oh.
It wasn't public. I saw it. There's a couple of articles online about this as well. And it did say that this was a video for his Patreon supporters. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I did see that reported. So he didn't go public, and he didn't say who did it. He was vague about who did it, although he gave us a couple of hints so we could determine who did this.
Well, I wanted to bring up this last thing since we're doing the show about these Disney people that got banned from the park for selling merch.
Well, they were selling trademarked merchandise.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the article. The Sparkling Dreamers. They have a big Facebook group.
Yeah.
So some of you I never heard of them because I'm not really into buying Disney merch.
It's very strange, okay? Sparkling Dreamers share their Disney park story that led to their ban, and a new video shared on Facebook. The owners of Sparkling Dreamers have disclosed more information about their ban from Disney parks. They've been banned from all Disney parks, okay?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
As an ongoing lawsuit filed by Walt Disney World against them continues, or Walt Disney Company. While operating as the Secret Diz Group LLC and later Sparkling Dreamers, the couple sold everything from face masks with the official branding of Disney's signature castles and images of Disneyland Park's iconic entrance to Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary fanny packs. The couple also cashed in on unauthorized merchandise featuring a wide range of characters from Disney's intellectual property catalog, spanning from Star Wars and The Little Mermaid to Winnie the Pooh.
I went to their website. They're still selling things, but nothing with any characters on it anymore.
Yeah.
I guess they stopped that.
The husband of the duo, I'm leaving their names out, was removed from Walt Disney World property and asked to never return. And this happened this past Friday in a video posted on social media.
So they went up to him in the park.
Yeah, the couple
kicked him out.
Well, yeah, the couple has now disclosed that the ongoing litigation has led to a lifetime ban, including any of the parks, including Disneyland. So they can't go to any of the parks. The couple contends that the reason for their ban lies in breaching their annual pass holder agreement. But as a court filing made by Walt Disney Company may give us a more fuller picture, the Walt Disney Company alleges that the couple has infringed on intellectual property rights by reselling unauthorized merchandise featuring popular Disney characters and park icons.
I would be very scared if Disney was suing me. I mean, they might owe them damages. They might have to pay them money.
You know,
what were they thinking?
People get banned from the parks all the time. Remember, Adam the Woo was banned from Disney World. He got the ban lifted after about a year.
But this involves selling of intellectual property through a store using actual images that belong to Disney and profiting off of this. So since Disney is suing them, it must have been really serious and really bad for them to take their lawyers, spend the time and money to sue this couple that has a tiny company compared to other people. And they have like 5,000 people in their Facebook group. That's okay, but it's not like massive. And I would be very nervous. I mean, they're going beyond just kicking them out. They're going to go for damages.
Well, what happened is because they got this lawsuit against them, they had their name in the system. So when they swiped in, they alerted security to come get. That's what happened to Adam the Woo. Adam the Woo was banned from Universal Studios Florida, and he had a ban for life. And he had a ban at Disney World that he got lifted. But it was a little vague on exactly what he did. But he filmed some backstage areas. And he went, if I remember correctly, he went to Hollywood Studios, he swiped in, and then they got security. And they trespassed him. So that's how they do it, and that's what they did with these guys. They had them in the system. Well, listen, let us know what you think in the comments about this really upsetting confrontation with Justin Scard and these other vloggers.
And go to Louis B's channel and watch the videos.
Yeah.
We'll link those in the description here.
Yeah, and you can decide for yourself what you think happened. I think it's pretty upsetting. And Justin Scard is so beloved by people who watch YouTube videos of theme parks.
He's awesome.
That he's a bad person to do this to. Like if this had happened to Michael Kay, people would be upset about it, but they say, oh, he probably did, he's a... But Justin Scard,
Michael Kay,
poor Michael Kay,
you beat up on him a lot.
But I like Michael Kay.
Yeah,
but Justin Scard, he's somebody that everybody respects.
Well, like I said, it might not have been about a Disney thing. I think it was something, I'm guessing, with Adam and that whole fallout, if that's what happened. But to go up to somebody in public in your place of work, really, and with a colleague, is lunacy.
Well, you know what happens a lot of times?
I mean, do people go up to other people at the office and start screaming at them in front of the other? That's just nuts.
There's a lot of talk that these other vloggers had a big falling out with Adam the Woo over some things.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened, and everybody knows that Adam the Woo and Justin Scard are close friends. So a lot of times when someone, I've seen this my whole life, when someone has a problem with someone, they transfer it to that person's friends too. You know what I mean? And so where this looks like it came from their anger towards Adam the Woo, they transferred it over to Justin Scard, like he was involved in whatever their gripe is with Adam the Woo.
Well, he said they accused him, I think, of saying something he didn't
what
say.
Are they, 12?
Exactly. It's so middle school. You said this about me. And, and they got in his face really close. And like I said, he seemed very, very shooken up over
Yeah,
this
he
and
did.
very upset as
Yeah,
he was
did.
as he was videoing from his big suite at Disneyland that nobody gets to stay at. So it's not all so bad for Justin, but he was obviously really shooken up.
Some people think John Stamos is his celebrity friend that gives him the suite.
Some people think it's Stamos. Could be somebody. He does know a lot of those old time animators that
Gurr.
might still
He's
have
friends with Gurr.
Yeah, that might have some connections there.
He's friends with the guy who currently does the voice of Mickey Mouse.
He did a vlog on that suite a while ago.
Oh, it was
He
very
did a whole.
good.
It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this is like incredible. It's like I don't know what it's called, the Walt Disney Suite, I'm assuming, and it's at that California hotel. It's just beautiful. So I recognized it right away, and he kept showing the suite as he was talking. So he's a great guy, and like you said, let's see what you guys think. We always love to read your comments.
Yeah, so we're all out of time, but we will talk to you next time. And again, we're going to put links to the Louis B's videos in the description of this episode so you can watch them and see everything firsthand with your own eyes and decide. You can also, through that, find Justin Scard's entire discussion of this, which is about 10 minutes long, and listen to all of that. And make sure that you leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, too.
Yeah, and one more thing before we go. It'll be interesting if that other couple discusses this in their next live stream. If they react to it.
They should.
I don't think they can help themselves.
They should.
The way they are. You really think so?
I think they should respond
and tell
to
their
it.
side of the story. Then they're definitely putting themselves there.
I don't think there is another side, okay? I've seen the video.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I've heard Justin Scard,
Yeah.
and the only other thing they could do is apologize, beg for the forgiveness of Justin Scard. I hope Allie was not there, but beg for her forgiveness if she was, and also apologize to the viewer community.
Yes, and I don't if they were the ones involved, I don't think they'll be able to help themselves. I think they will make a video and talk, you know how they are, and talk about it. And I don't think they'll be able to control themselves. I think they'll it'll be too tempting. So let's keep looking for that. That should come soon if they're going to do it.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next time.